Who's actually going to get the most out of a high-end ultra-short-throw 4K laser projector, and who would be better off sticking with a traditional TV or a cheaper bulb-based model? Is the premium price tag something a typical family movie night can justify, or does it belong only in a dedicated home theater room? Those are the questions I keep hearing whenever the HU915QB pops up in forums, and before I dive into the details I want to be clear, link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. When I first started looking at laser UHD projectors, the biggest hesitation was the whole room size versus image size equation. You can sit just a foot away from the wall and get a 100-inch screen, but that also means you have to manage ambient light, throw distance, and the fact that the projector sits right under the screen. It felt like a gamble. Pay a lot of money and hope your living room layout cooperates. That's why I spent a few days reading installation threads, watching YouTubers who actually mounted the same LG model in different spaces, and skimming through the handful of verified buyer ratings. The consensus was clear: this projector shines when you have a dedicated, controllable viewing area, but it can feel overkill or even frustrating if you're trying to squeeze it into a bright living room with a low ceiling. Let's start with the people who will love this. If you've already invested in a motorized screen or a high-gain wall paint, and you can darken the room for a few hours on weekends, the HU915QB delivers a cinematic experience that rivals a mid-range home theater projector at a fraction of the maintenance hassle. The laser light source means you won't be swapping bulbs every couple of years, and the color accuracy stays consistent over the projected lifespan. I tried streaming a 4K HDR series on a popular streaming platform, and the colors stayed vivid without the usual rainbow artifacts you sometimes see on older laser units. Because the unit is ultra-short throw, I could place it on a low TV console, keep the cables hidden, and still get a 120-inch image that filled the wall without any distortion. That setup works great for a home office that doubles as a media room. You can pull the screen down, give a presentation in crisp 4K, then switch to a movie night without moving the projector. Now, who should walk away? First, anyone living in a typical open-plan apartment with large windows and limited ability to control lighting will find the image washed out unless they invest in blackout curtains or a dedicated screen with high gain. The projector's brightness, while impressive for a laser unit, still sits around 3000 lumens, enough for dim rooms, but not for bright daytime viewing. Second, if you're looking for a plug-and-play solution that works on a coffee table, the HU915QB's size and need for a proper mounting surface make it less than ideal. The unit is roughly the size of a small refrigerator, and while it's designed to sit close to the wall, you still need a stable base and a level surface, otherwise you'll see keystone issues that the software can't fully correct. Finally, budget-conscious shoppers who are fine with 1080p resolution or are okay with occasional bulb replacement should consider a lower-cost DLP or LCD projector. You'll spend a lot less upfront and still get a decent picture for casual gaming or sports. Let's talk about the practical strengths that matter after the box is opened. The most noticeable is the instant on-off cycle. Because it's a laser, there's no warm-up time. Press the power button and you have a full brightness image in seconds. That's a huge win for people who want to binge-watch without waiting for a bulb to reach temperature. The built-in smart platform, LG's WebOS, gave me access to Netflix, Disney+, and YouTube without a separate streaming stick. Navigation felt snappy, and the voice remote worked well enough for quick searches, though it's not as refined as a dedicated streaming box. Another strength is the lens shift. Even though the projector sits inches from the wall, the vertical lens shift lets you fine-tune the image height without moving the whole unit, which is a lifesaver when your screen is mounted a bit higher than the ceiling line. The bundled 4-year CPS, Cumulative Protection Service, plan also adds peace of mind. Laser modules can be pricey to replace, and having that extended coverage means you're not left scrambling for a service call after the standard warranty expires. On the flip side, there are some trade-offs that buyers should be aware of. The audio solution is modest. The built-in speakers deliver a clear dialogue track, but they lack the punch needed for an immersive movie night, so you'll want a soundbar or a small AV receiver. The HDMI 2.1 ports are present, which is great for next-gen consoles, but the actual bandwidth is limited by the projector's internal processing. So you may not always get full 4K 120Hz gaming performance, more like 4K 60Hz with HDR. I tested it with a PlayStation 5, and while the image was gorgeous,